love what I do. Statistics is cool. Tableau, all of these different programs and softwares are cool, but I want to do something different. I want to do something more. And that's when I started looking into, master's programs in IT, because I know I want to pivot more directly into tech. Like, this is a technical role, yes, but I wouldn't consider it tech specifically because of what I do, what I actually do. Um, and so I started looking into like universities and programs, and then I came across this school called Western Governors University, and I was like, what's this school? I never heard of it before, but I'll take a look. So of course, what do? I go to YouTube University, in the search bar, WGU, see what shows up, and then that's how actually I came across your channel, because you had did the video on the IT management program, and I watched a bunch of videos, read a bunch of different articles, of course, because as you would do, when you are searching for universities. And I was like, what, this IT management thing, I think I'm going to go for it, because it's a checkbox, but also I'm going to learn so much that I didn't learn in my boot camps related to IT specifically, and also like the management business element of IT as well. So I thought that was a really good blend of courses. And so now I'm going into this, and I'm also trying to pivot once again, but like more directly into tech. So I'm in IT management or government contracting. I'm more on an internal role versus a client facing role now, but I definitely want to maybe go back to a client facing position, because there is something different about it. There is something different about being more front and center than like kind of behind the scenes, I think. And it's a lot more fast paced. It's a lot more in your face. And the day just goes so much faster. And I feel like I get a lot more out of that than I do just by sitting behind a screen and like analyzing data all day. So it's valuable, but once again, I don't want to plateau. So I like, since I'm still going up, that mountain of just knowledge, I don't want to like stop. So I want to keep going, but doing something different at the same time. So I'm still going to use those business analyst skills that I've developed this year, but just using it in something different.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah. I don't even
Well,
remember what your
tell me
question
this.
was, but
No. You're riding. You're rocking out. So tell me this. What is obviously the next thing, right? I've heard the journey. The journey is a remarkable one, from liberal arts. You're talking about Arabic. You're talking about African American studies. You're talking about now getting into professional world. You're talking about now working in the finance industry. Completely different. Learning to upskill with that. Learning a little bit about sales, client facing roles, then saying, okay, well, this is not where I really want to take my career. Saying, okay, well, you know what, I'm going to go into IT. I'm going to work for one of the largest, IT management, government management companies that exist out there. Booz Allen, you got your foot in the door there, doing the project management work as a, travel. I forgot what actual name of it, but
travel
you kind of
analyst.
mix a travel analyst, right? Then from there, you're like, okay, well, you know what? I want to do more. Let me look for other roles within the same company to see how I can expand and continue to grow. Then you went to become a business analyst, and you've learned a whole bunch within this last year. You did some certifications. You did, tons of certifications, eCornell, as well as the Tableau, and getting more equipped in Excel, all this extra training. Now you're saying, okay, well, you know what? Now I want to go and get a master's, because I want to even be more well-rounded. Your mindset is, I just can't stop. Life is
Yeah.
about growth. Life is about learning. Life is about, putting yourself in different positions to learn and grow. And that's what I'm seeing. And people who have that sort of mindset, they typically win. So you got to tell me something like this, right? So I'm not going to ask you specific numbers, because I have no idea. But was there a salary jump from the finance company to going into the tech field with Booz Allen? Was there a salary jump at all?
There wasn't, for me, there wasn't a huge jump. It definitely was higher than what I was making before, for sure. So I'm not complaining at all. But
Yeah.
it wasn't like like going from 60 to 100K in like a month kind of thing. But with the transition that I'm trying to make now from this company to another type of platform, I think there will be a bigger jump, to be honest.
So you about to be getting the bag even more now.
Oh yeah, and I actually saw one of your videos about well, I guess what we're going to talk about, which is Salesforce, recently. So I know for a fact there's going to be a significant jump.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell people what exactly it is that you really want to do after you get your master's, or even before you get your master's. Tell people what is it that you're looking to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, I'm also working towards my first Salesforce certification. Salesforce is a customer relationship management type of platform. Like a lot of enterprise or a lot of companies use Salesforce to kind of centralize a lot of their sales and customer relationships, and so it just allows different like groups within a company to utilize, or manage their leads, their customers, things like that. And it's a really great tool, and it's a cloud based tool. It's a
Yeah.
software as a service, and so for me, in my finance company, we actually use Salesforce. So I used to be an end user of the platform. And so going from an end user to an administrator is sort of the next step that I want to be, because in terms of the culture of Salesforce, it's amazing. The people are so helpful. They're so willing to, assist you in any, questions you might have related to the platform. So I just think in general, the culture is great, but also learning how to manage the back end processes of Salesforce, which is a tech company, and a tech based platform, cloud based platform. It's super gamified, so it makes the learning process a lot more fun than just kind of reading a bunch of text. So I've been enjoying the process so far, and just kind of picking up where I left off a few years ago from being an end user to now. It's just been really interesting to see how far it's come in the past few years, how much Salesforce continues to, kind of reinvent itself, and new features that come out every once in a while. I just think it's amazing. And so Salesforce is kind of the next route, or in general, more broadly, low code, no code platforms. I'm not the biggest programmer. I don't like to code personally. So finding other ways to be in tech without being a coder or being a programmer is kind of what I wanted to do. So business analyst was kind of like that first kind of, getting my feet wet into technical type of roles, but now pivoting more so towards Salesforce administration, and hopefully eventually being a Salesforce consultant. That's kind of really what I want to do. Um,
That's wonderful.
yeah, that's kind
That's
of what I want to
absolutely
pivot to
wonderful.
next. So that's my
See,
that's my goal.
that no, that's absolutely wonderful, and I love that because you just highlighted a whole bunch of Salesforce wins. You don't even work for the company yet, right? And you know a whole bunch of it. You're like speaking it into existence, right? You're like, all right, this is where I'm going to go. What I love about a lot of this too, Ella, and what you just said is that you have a plan, right? A lot of people just don't even know what that plan is. Your mind is already on this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. Right? I have to learn a little bit more about Salesforce. I have to start taking that path to being part of or becoming a Salesforce administrator or whatever it is that you want to become. You already know that. So ultimately, the steps that you're going to be taking is going to help you get there. Whether it's going to WGU or whether it's taking a certification. I love the fact that you have you're a person who knows your vision, right? And you already know the path to get there, or you know how to set a vision, a clear vision at that. And
Yeah.
you're taking the steps and taking multiple paths in order for you to get to that vision, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So a lot of people struggle with just understanding what it is that they want to do.
Yeah,
How is
that's
it that how is it that you're able to just figure out what it is that you want to do? Like I'm able to do it, and I say this all the time. Like I already know what I want to do, and I go
that's
down that
yeah.
path. And for me, it's always been driven by money. I don't know what's driven you, right? But what is it that gives you that clarity to see exactly what you want to do, and then you take that step? Because what I'm understanding, there's not a lot of people who really has that clear of a vision, a goal like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has come from experience, because I'm the kind of person that doesn't really know what I want to do until I do it. And so I have to try something before I
Mm,
even know if I like it. I can't just look at something and be like, maybe. I have to actually try it. So that's why I did the finance thing, or the finance role, because I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. turned out I didn't love it. I mean, I appreciated it, but I didn't love it. But it was, it taught me a lot. So I think just learning how to do things, learning by doing, that's kind of what helps me figure out what I want to do next. Because if I hadn't become a business analyst, I wouldn't have done the boot camp. If I didn't do the boot camp, I probably wouldn't have done the data analytics program. And if I didn't do the data analytics program, I probably wouldn't have, came across WGU. I probably wouldn't have really been considering tech. I probably wouldn't have even thought about Salesforce or low code, no code platforms. So I think a lot of it's kind of, I try one thing, see how it goes, do more research, see kind of what's related to it, and then go from there. Because, ultimately, I don't know exactly what I want to do. I know Salesforce is something that I want to try, right? Am I going to love it? Who knows until I, actually do it. But it's all about me just trying it. If I can try, if I have the opportunity to showcase my ability or to try it in a a job platform, or even if it's, just like me practicing on my own, then cool. If I don't like it, then I don't like it, but at least I have that skill set. If I do like it, great, I can continue forward and try something different. So maybe after Salesforce, there might be something else after that, right? Maybe in 2 years, we might have another conversation and I might be in something completely different,
I love
right?
that. I
But
absolutely love it. I love that because that's seriously how I operate. It's I have an ultimate goal to be XYZ, but along the journey, you take multiple routes, right? There may be a journey that leads me down to sales, and I'm like, okay, well, I've done sales. Now it's time for me to do something else, and then I do that, and I say, okay, well, I want to take a different path. It's one thing I want people to understand is that they don't have to have it all figured out. I think the biggest thing is taking the step, right? Don't let fear stop you from taking the step, because you're going to be able to figure it out. You're going to be able to learn, and it's going to be part of your overall destination of where you ultimately are going to end up. And if you end up someplace that you don't like, you can switch. And it's the world is not ending, right? You learn skills. You can do it for a certain amount of time and do a pivot like Ella has done multiple times, right?